Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. So, in today's beautiful morning, we are going to do an analysis of a novel. My name is Verza Aldirindra Nugraha with my student number 2017 111 and I'm here with.
Hi, my name is Rangga Mukti Kusnadi, and my student number is 2017 111
So, let's get started. So, the novel details. So, the novels we are going to analyze titled The Notebook. The Notebook was authored by Nicholas Sparks. The genre of this novel is romance, and of course, the language is English. The publisher is Time Warner Book Group. The book was published in 1996. So, next, synopsis. The synopsis of this novel is a man with a faded, well worn notebook open in his lap, a woman experiencing a morning ritual she doesn't understand until he begins to read to her. The Notebook is an achingly tender story about the enduring power of love, a story of miracles that will stay with you forever. Set amid austere beauty of coastal North Carolina in 1946, The Notebook begins with the story of Noah Calhoun, a rural southerner returned home from World War II. Noah, 31, is restoring plantation home to its former glory, and he is haunted by image of beautiful girl he met 14 years earlier, a girl he loved like no other. Unable to find her, yet unwillingly to forget the summer they spent together, Noah is content to live with only memories. Until she unexpectedly returns to his town to see him once again. Allie Nelson, 29, is now engaged to another man, but realizes that the original passion she felt for Noah has not dimmed with the passage of time. Still, the obstacles that once ended their previous relationships remain, and the gulf between their world is too vast to ignore. With her impending marriage only weeks away, Ellie is forced to confront her hopes and dreams for the future, a future that only she can shape, like a puzzle with a puzzle. The story of Noah and Ellie is just beginning. As it unfolds, their tale miraculously becomes something different, with much higher stakes, the result in deeply moving portrait of itself. The tender moments, the fundamental changes that affect us all, shining with a beauty that rarely found in current literature. The Notebook establishes Nicholas Sparks as a classic storyteller with a unique insight into the emotion that really matters. So, next is theme. The theme in this novel is actually only two. The first one is love conquers all. The main theme in the Notebook is love conquers all. Throughout the novel, Noah and Ellie faces many challenges before they could finally be together for good. They were able to overcome all the things that happened, and this is what you can call true love. So, the second one and the last one is romance. In these books, it tells the love story between Noah Calhoun and Allison Allison Nelson, who is already engaged to a lawyer named Lon Hammond Jr. So, the plot. The kinds of plot is flashback. Why we would call it flashback? Because in the start of the novel, Noah is already old, and he opens the book to tell a story to Allison to make her remember how the story between both of them. So it's kind of a flashback and going back again to Noah. Next is the elements of plot. The first one, of course, the exposition. Now, the novel opens with Noah Calhoun, an old man, reading to a woman in a nursing home. He tells a story from a notebook. Noah, 31, returns from World War II to his town of New Bern, North Carolina. he finishes restoring an antebellum style house after his father's death. Meanwhile, Ellie, 29, sees the house in the newspaper and decides to pay him a visit. Next, elements of plot is generating. The next day, Noah takes Ellie on a canoe ride in a small lake where swans and geese swim. She's enchanted. On their way back, they are caught in a storm and end up soaked. When they return to his house, they talk again about how important they were to each other and how their feelings have not changed. Noah and Ellie share a moment together. Ellie's mother shows up the next morning and gives Ellie the letters from Noah. When her mother leaves, Ellie is torn and has a decision to make. She knows she loves Noah, but she does not want to hurt Lon. Noah begs her to stay with him, but she decides to leave. She cries all the way back to the hotel and starts reading the letters her mother returned to her. At the hotel, her fiancé Lon is waiting in the lobby. Next elements of plot is rising action. The man stops reading the story at this point and implies to the audience that he is reading to his wife, who suffers from Alzheimer's disease and does not recognize him. Throughout the story, he explained he also ill, battling a third cancer and suffering heart disease, kidney failure, and severe arthritis in his hands. He resumes reading the story and describing their life together. Her career as a noted painter, their children growing old together, and finally the diagnosis of Alzheimer's. He had changed the name in the story to protect her, but he is Noah and she is Ellie. They walk together, and Ellie, although she does not recognize him, says she might feel something for him. Next, elements of plot. Climax. They have dinner together. Referring to the story, she can quite remember who Ellie chose. Recognizing her husband, she tells him that she loves him. They embrace and talk, but after almost 4 hours, Ellie fades. She begins to panic and hallucinate, and forgets who Noah is again. The nurses have to come and they have to sedate her. Later, Noah has a stroke and cannot visit Ellie. When he recovers, he goes to visit Ellie late at night. And as he's staying in the same care home, when Noah tries to sneak past the nurse station, the nurse on duty states that she is going for a coffee, even though she has one on the counter. The nurse also tells Noah she won't be back for a while and not do anything while she is away. Noah realizes it is just a ruse to let him go see Ellie, and he goes and finds Ellie in the bed in her room, asleep. She wakes up, recognizes him as Noah, and tells him that she loves him. They kiss and fall asleep next to each other, believing their love will take them away together. So, next is characterization. The characterization will be explained by Rangga. So, next slide will be explained by Rangga. Go ahead, Rangga.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Verza. And next, we will continue our presentation today to the next slide. So, I will explain about characterization. There are two kinds of characters. There are major and minor. Major characters appear relatively frequently and or have an influence on the protagonist. And for the minor characters is a useful acquaintances appear infrequently or only once. You can see in the slide that there are Noah Calhoun, Elisa Nelson, and Lon Hammond Jr. for the major characters, and for the minor characters there are Dr. Barnwell and Janus. So we can see here about characteristics. First is characteristics by name. It was early October 1946, and Noah Calhoun watched the fading sun sink lower from the porch of his plantation-style home. It was page for the fourth page in the first line. So you can see that Noah Calhoun was mentioned. He is a major character in this novel, and then characteristics by the appearance. I'm aside this morning. Two shirts, heavy pants, scarf wrapped twice around my neck and tucked into a thick sweater knit by my daughter 30 birthdays ago. First page, second line. You can see that there are mentioned, about the look, about the appearance. Two shirts, heavy pants, a scarf wrapped twice around my neck and tucked into a thick sweater. Yeah. And then characteristics by the author. He liked to sit here in these evenings, especially after working hard all day, and let these thoughts wander. It was how he relaxed, a routine he had learned from his father. The fourth page, the second line, you can see that the author mentions about he relaxed and he learned a routine from his father. So yeah, it is mentioned by the author about the characters. And next, characteristics by the dialogues. The first time he mentioned her, Gus started to shake his head and laugh. So that's the Gus you've been running from? When asked what he meant, Gus said, the seventh page, 20 line. So, it is about dialogue between Gus and the other characters. And the last, characteristic by the action. Usually, Gus would bring his harmonica, and after talking for a little while, they'd play a few songs together. Sixth page, seventh line. You can see that in the sentences, it is mentioned, usually Gus would bring his harmonica, blah blah blah, and then they played a few songs together. It is such an action in characteristics. And then let's jump right into the settings. First, settings by time. The sun has come up and I am sitting by a window that is foggy with the breath of a life gone by. I'm aside this morning, blah blah blah. First page, line 1 until 2. So you can see about the sun has come up and I'm sitting by a window that is foggy with breath of a life gone by. I'm aside this morning. Yes, of course. It is the morning. The settings of time is in the morning. And then, settings of place. The thermostat in my room is set as high as it will. First page, third line. Yeah, it said that the thermostat in my room is set as high as it will. So, the place is in the character's room. And then on this slide is explained about point of view. Third person point of view. Because the narrating the point of view of what the characters think, see, feel, do, and many more. And then implication. Love could make us stronger and do everything for the person we love. And then philosophy. Love conquers all. True love is strong, pure, and sincere. Although it's hard and many obstacles, it will be happy in the end. And for the styles, a simple sentence. I'm aside this morning. First page, third line. And then compound sentence. The sun has come up and I am sitting by a window. First page, second line. And the last one about complex sentence. There are no monuments dedicated to me, and my name will soon be forgotten. But I've loved another with all of my heart and soul, and to me this has always been enough. First page, 15 line. Well, I think it's enough for our presentation today. Thank you so much for watching and listening our video presentation until the end. I hope all of you will understand what we are explained and what we are discussed about. And we are sorry for our mistakes. We did a lot of mistakes because we are only human and no one is perfect.
So, that's it from us. Thank you for your attention. And once again, if there's any question, please comment in the post of Google Class below. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.